everybody, Steve here, Philosopher Cards. Thanks for tuning back into the channel. And we're back for more how to sell on TCGplayer. So, if you've been liking the series, make sure you check out the playlist. I've put all the how to sells on a playlist. And check out the Discord in the link in the description of the video here, because you can join, talk to me, talk to other sellers. There's a really great community out there on my Discord talking about how to sell on TCGplayer. So today, we're going to talk about the mass price tool on TCGplayer and how to use it. So I'm going to get us over to TCGplayer on the screen here. I'm going to go away and move over. And in the meantime, make sure you check out my Patreon where you can get some one-on-one support. And again, thanks to all the patrons, and check the video at the end here, the credits as a thank you to all the Patreon. I'm starting to add those into the mix. So this is what your dashboard looks like if you're a level 4 seller. And if you have the Pro and you have some other things, you get some additional buttons. Let me see here. You can't you can kind of see me hovering over. You can't see my mouse, but that's okay. You can also see direct. So you have a direct if you're in TCG Direct. Pricing tab appears when you're a level 4 seller. So if you're not level 4 yet, don't worry. Get to level 4 and you'll be able to do what I'm talking about. If you're Pro, you need to actually add Pro to the account to access mass price and quick list scanning tool. But I just want to take a moment to talk about how to price outside of mass price tool, right? So one way that you can do it for new sets, for example, there we go. So let's take Sorcery, let's take Beta, for example, right? And we want to go to our advanced filters, and this will allow me to mass price a particular quality within a set. So I can look here, we're going to do normal, near mint, we'll look at uniques for Sorcery. When you apply filters, you can then increase the page size to 100, and you can kind of go down the list here and just kind of check your price against the lowest listing and market price. But when you have mass price, you can control way more than that. So give me just a moment here as I move over to the mass price tool. All right, so here is the dashboard. And I have lots of examples of things to show you, and let's actually take a moment to talk about what all of this means. So this is one of the most important things you can do for pricing, because it is completely bot controlled. You can schedule these things to run, and it can really help drive your sales. If I didn't have this mass price tool, I would not sell nearly as much as I do. So this is also very dangerous. So keep in mind, if you are quick at coming up with a roll and you're not careful, you can price all of your inventory to an absurdly low price and lose a ton of money. So just be careful of it. We have our dashboard. This is where you can see the rolls. The activity log shows when the rolls were ran. You can look at your schedules that you have currently set up. You can only schedule each roll for once per day. You can't schedule it more than once per day. And then you have the TCGplayer admin. It takes you back to the TCGplayer side. So what does a roll look like? Let's take a look. Let's make a new one. We're going to create a roll. You can do your my selling prices or my buying prices. My buying prices really isn't relevant anymore. And the reason for it is TCGplayer killed the buy list. So really it's only going to be selling prices. And you're going to hit continue. So you have a couple stages of things to look for here. First, you're defining what products you want. Then you're going to define the pricing. You're going to define the minimums and confirm. Now, you're going to say, do you want to update any with price or my inventory only? This is a very key piece of information, folks, because you might not think it's a big deal, but this could be huge. Any with price means that if you've sold it in the past and you now have quantity 0, the price will get updated. My inventory is only things that have an inventory greater than 1 will price with this. Why would you want to do any with price? Well, one reasoning is because if you're going to load more inventory in, your inventory is always up with current price. Why would you only want to do my inventory? Well, main reasoning is because you want to see what the last sold price was of your item, because it's very hard to get to that detail. Right. So if you leave your old price in, when you add cards and things like that, you can see the change and you can see what the card used to sell for. So we're going to do at the moment my inventory only. And we're going to do, let's see, we got sorcery for now. All groups. There we go. It was stuck on Final Fantasy. All groups, so we have Alpha, Beta, Arthurian Legends. Let's actually do a roll, all right? I've been meaning to do this roll. Arthurian Legends, we're going to look at elite rarities only. Okay, so you can add multiple sets. You can add Alpha, Arthurian Legends, all right? But you got to keep it in one category. It can't span Pokemon and Magic and Sorcery. You got to have 3 different rules for those. So we're going to keep it to Arthurian Legends for now, which is a set of sorcery. And we're going to keep it to elite rarities, okay? Printings, you can have foil, normal, okay? We're going to do normal. You can have both. Conditions, again, you can set the condition here. We're going to set it to near mint. I highly recommend setting the conditions, making sure you're very careful with everything. Price filter is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, between. So you can set, so for example, you can look at only elites that are between a certain price, right? So this is setting which products you want. You want to look at something that's only over $100. Right, you may want to have rules set up for that purpose. You may want to have rules set up for everything under $1. We're not going to look at that piece for now. So we're going to hit continue. Rule name's got to be Sorcery Elites. Okay. Continue. Now, you can base prices on a couple things. We're going to scroll through the list here because you can't see the drop down on my tool. But we're going to scroll through. So TCG market price. So TCG market price is the compilated price between all sales that are occurring above and below this number. This is like the average sale price at that spot moment. Okay. Median, just like you have an average, you have a median price. Then you have low price without shipping. So sometimes, you may want to price it at low, so you're absolute low on the market. I don't recommend pricing low without shipping unless you have a shipping charge built in, okay? Unless you're comfortable with your shipping number that you have baked into all products. If you're somebody that has $5 and under free shipping, this isn't for you. Never price with that. Low price plus shipping. So this is the general low price, but this includes, so it's like, let's say somebody's the lowest, but they have $20 shipping. They're going to add in low plus shipping. I tend to like to do that if I go low. I'm very rarely low. All right. Then we go my current marketplace price. Don't worry about that one. Average of, a couple different things. There's, where's my, I'll show you guys an example. So you can do an average of, set your prices, but let's say for sorcery, it's generally market price, and you can add or subtract dollars or percentages. All right. So generally speaking, newer accounts, folks with less feedback, need to go market price minus something. Folks with a lot of feedback, good feedback, do a lot of volume, have a lot of cards, have a lot of inventory. You want to go at market price, potentially plus percentages. I don't like doing plus dollar or minus dollar amounts, and the reasoning for that is because you could get in a very sticky situation where, you're subtracting $1 off something and it's way too much, or percentages are nice. Percentages are really nice. Now, if you're starting off on TCGplayer, it's really good to price it TCG low without shipping minus one penny, right? Because what that will do is it'll say, okay, grab the lowest price and you go a penny under that. All right, but we're going to price this market price. Just flat market. Market should be good because I have a lot of sorcery cards, right? We're going to start price it at market price, flat market price. Now, define the minimum. This is really, really important, okay? Really important. You don't want prices to go lower than what, okay? This is how I set my floor on bulk to be 16 cents, right? Because you can actually set it to low... fixed amount. That would be 16 cents is the fixed amount that you don't want anything to go less than, okay? So never go less than 16 cents. Modified with, pluses or minuses, okay? So in this case, we don't want it to be, think of it this way, think logically. What happens if market price is below or lower as things are starting to go to the moon, okay? And you have a card getting bought out. You don't want to list a card for 50 cents that's now $3, because from a market price perspective, the market price still is 50 cents, but it's not capturing the fact that everything up until $3 was bought. So you want to define your minimum as low price without shipping equal to that, okay? And then this bottom one here, generally it's, I change it to 80%. What this says is skip updates if it's more than an 80% change, which this won't be. Now, before you run your roll, before you run it, make sure you hit preview, okay? I'm going to say that again. Make sure you hit preview, because if you don't hit preview, bad things can happen. You might have picked a setting or something you didn't expect, and it's very important to hit the preview button. All right? Make sure you hit that. So, we're hitting the preview. Preview is going to give us an idea of what the changes will look like if you were to run the rule, okay? Okay, so here we only have 3. Oddly enough, I only have 3 Sorcery, Arthurian Legends, Elites in my inventory. And I guess I have a bunch in backlog I haven't added yet. I'm low. My prices are below market price, as you can see. So what this will do, when I hit run, it'll change all these 3 prices. This is my price. This is the updated price. This is the change. This is the percent change. You can look at this and run. We're going to go ahead and process that roll. I'm very happy with it. We're only changing 3 items. Now, did that run? This second takes us back to our main screen. If you refresh the page, you can see if it finishes. This is the activity. We also can go down to the message log. Love the message log. You can see it was submitted with 3 changes, and then you can go ahead and view what those changes are. Now, one thing I want to show you guys, when you're in direct, okay, when you're a direct seller, let's check this out. This is my main role of how my shop operates. I'm sharing with you the inside scoops of how my shop operates. All right. So this is my magic prices. And then we're just going to look at this screen here because I don't want to risk changing anything. The update channels, the marketplace prices, okay? All groups, all rarities for magic, all printings, all conditions, all languages. So this is everything in my shop greater than 20 cents. I run another floor update. I'll update everything to the floor on a separate update. This runs daily. I'm not too worried if I'm missing out on a penny on a card or something like that. I don't really care. So I'm focused on everything over 20 cents, modified by direct low. So remember, guys, in all my videos, I tell you, you can maximize and capitalize on that TCG direct price because it's oftentimes more, much more than the market price. And you can be the direct low and sell on direct low and do that effectively here with this bot. Now, my minimum is sometimes, cards don't have a direct low, right? Because they're not on direct. So my minimum is market price. Okay. Now what's going to happen with this? Do I put myself at risk of a card going to the moon? I do. I don't really care. I'm not really focused on the small arbitrage. I'm interested in overall large numbers of cards moving through the shop. What's everything look like? We're going to go ahead. We're going to run the roll. This runs every single day at 6 o'clock. Okay. But we're going to run it now and we're going to hit run. And I'm going to actually show you what the result looks like. So let's go. We see it running here in our queue. We're going to go to message log again. And sometimes things get hung up. See, this is submitted for processing. You can either hit refresh on your page or you can kind of queue back and forth. So we're going to just do this for a minute. All right, so we're done. And here is the activity log. Now we go down to the message log. 38, only 38 were changed. You wouldn't believe it. Overall, 12, 13,000 cards I have in Magic. To only have 38, it's because this runs so frequently, right? And it's a very fine-tuned machine. So as you can see, I have Karn the Betrayer. My eyes are getting bad here, guys. I got LASIK done a couple years ago, and I'm just like, maybe I need it again. Ruthless Technomancer. And, these are the higher drops. We can filter to see what's gone up, okay? So this one, since, yesterday evening, Consider has gone from 285 to 398. Why? Most likely, the reasoning is, to be honest, I don't even need to look into something like this. The direct restocked, right? There's probably a restock on direct, or somebody was dumping and had a bad pricing setup, and unfortunately, it threw me too low. So the thing about mine, you hear oftentimes too that, oh no, the bots are screwing people over because, you have a nefarious being that comes in and puts a really low dollar on a card to try to get somebody's bot to go lower than it. Well, that can't happen if you do your floors correctly. All right. So if someone were to try to come in and get me down to on this Consider, get me to dump it, the lowest I'm going to go is TCG Market. Right. And if they want me to dump it at TCG Market, so be it. I'll take the sale. Right. But I capture the higher dollars when appropriate. So anytime I can, I will. I don't worry about the onesie twosies that I'm not getting the maximum value on every single item for. I generally operate my shop with, these are the parameters I've set. I'm comfortable with that parameters given the market condition. And that's, I'm happy with the output of that. So that's really in a nutshell how mass pricing works. The bots are key to success and sales on TCGplayer. Again, please stay tuned to the channel. I have box opening videos. I have live breaks on Magic and Sorcery product at the moment. Join my Patreon. I'm hoping to get you some access to Pokemon stuff here. And, my Patreon supports the channel as well as discounts and other types of things. So check that out. And in the meantime, roll the credits.
Digital age we're living in, treasures hidden in the packs we win, pictures on cardboard thin, fighting scalpers till the end. Holograms that shine so bright, sample packs just drop from sight. In the shuffle I can't win, every pack is cursed with sin. I'm trying to preserve history, in these cards contain my prophet destiny. the time for scalpers.